She didn't set out to accumulate a collection of great monetary worth. Instead, she revels in the constellation of sounds she might never have experienced if not for happenstance and affordability. For her, sticking to a low price point means that she feels free to take a chance on records that seem interesting, and she also feels just as free to eventually discard those that do not speak to her while savoring the ones that truly do. I'm more of what Max has termed as a fundamentalist. I've worked hard at collecting mostly within a single niche area. I've assembled a robust representation of independently released soul music from North and South Carolina in the 1960s through 1980s. This body of music has captivated me since I was 21 years old, volunteering at WXYC. The excitement of finding something obscure yet amazing and doing so in my own backyard initially drew me in. I loved the process of learning about the rich network of unheralded musicians that operated in the region where I grew up. Even today, I still serendipitously encounter local records that I haven't seen before and that deserve a wider audience. I love this music so much that it seemed to be the most appropriate name for the business that I eventually founded and still operate today, Carolina Soul. Over the last decade, Carolina Soul has grown out of my focus interests into a brick-and-mortar storefront in Durham, North Carolina, and an online storefront that routinely sends multiple genres and formats to collectors all around the world. In brief, going into business allowed me to work in a field that I was passionate about and enabled me to continue collecting within my niche area while selling my other finds to support the endeavor. In my early days of dealing, I would search out local sellers who might be offering a local record, and I would look through everything else they had and make purchases with an eye toward both education and resale. At home, I would sort through the purchases and figure out what to keep and what to sell. As is still the case now, my main avenue then for selling was through eBay auctions. I would personally describe, grade, photograph, and prepare sample recordings of each item and then list them one by one on eBay. Eventually, I brought friends on board to help with the sales process. Along the way, we opened up our auctions to consignments from our personal connections, meaning we'd sell their records on their behalf. Today, the majority of our eBay sales are consignments, and these come to us from the public at large. Consignment has been one of our greatest joys and one of our greatest acquisition methods. The relationships we've built through consignment and the material that we might never have seen otherwise have been very exciting. Some of the most intriguing one-of-a-kind material has come to us on consignment: reggae dub plates, unreleased Miles Davis acetates, unreleased studio reel-to-reel tapes, promotional glossy photos, rockabilly 45s, and radio spots, promotional records used to advertise movies on the radio in the pre-digital era. Through the windows of these relationships, we have even more impressions of collecting types and how they can and probably will evolve over time if given long enough. And that's once again to show that there are no right ways to approach this world. I believe that the issues raised in this book are truly worth thinking about. Some of it you may agree with, some of it you might not. Regardless, you will have a fuller thought framework when it comes to buying and owning vinyl, and I believe that this is the book's true gift to us. Whether you're new to record collecting or, like me, have turned buying records into a profession, this book will encourage you to consider not only your approach but also the assumptions that underlie it. If you are newer to record collecting, virtually all of this book will be particularly valuable for you. Max gives a great orientation to the record market that can serve as a shortcut to deciding how you might best approach various acquisition channels. He references some of the internet resources I personally use on a daily basis. If you've been collecting for some time now, I believe you will also find topics that will challenge you to consider your relationship with records. For example, in Chapter 5, Max examines the experience of listening to vinyl, considering ways to appreciate music beyond the dimensions of space and time. I wonder what sound journeys this chapter will inspire. I certainly hope you'll reach out and let us know. Record collecting is an activity best experienced on one's own terms. Vinyl age will not decide for you what your approach and philosophy should be, but it will help inform.